You didn't know about that 8-hour stream?
8-hour podcast. After a while, we would just be like, what do you want to talk about? Okay, it should be live. Let's check this out.
Yeah, you live.
Okay, cool. All right. We'll let some people flood in here. Sweet.
Oh, that's so lovely.
I know. I hate that you can't edit that. Whatever. What is up, guys? Welcome to episode 42 of the Planet Nintendo podcast. I'm your host, Patrick from NintenTalk, and I'm joined, like always, by the best co-host on the planet, Joe, after work. What's up, man?
Yo, what's going on? Sorry.
Joe after nap.
Joe after nap. I'm a man with a nap. I'm a man with a D brand skin over my Switch.
And it is cracked. We just got that confirmed.
Yeah.
R.I.P. And
R.I.P.
joined today, Donnie from PSVG. What is up, man?
Greetings, Kooplings. Thank you guys for having me. I appreciate it. A little shack love. Like it.
Definitely, man. So let's go over what's on the menu for today. We have starting off with PNPicks, game recommendations, games that are coming out soon. We have some talk about a Switch UI, the fan-made Switch UI. We're going to give our opinions on that. Would you invest in Nintendo? That's the big question for today. And third-party loyalty. If you have multiple consoles, what system are you getting the third-party games on? So before we get to all that, Donnie, why don't you let everyone know what you guys do over there and some of the people over there? There's a lot of them.
Thank you very much. Yeah, I represent an outlet called PSVG. We are now a part of the Make Us Better network, the Make Us Better Patreon community over there with Sean Capri and Mr. Babbit and the Warp Whistle and Nintendo Nostalgia. We just joined. That was kind of our big news. We just joined last week or week before last. Most Nintendo fans will know me as the host of the Nintendo Shack. PSVG, or specifically the PSVG podcast network, if anybody ever wants to try to subscribe to us, we have shows that drop all throughout the week. So we do podcasts for PlayStation, for Xbox. We have a Nintendo show. We have a board game channel for those that like to game on tabletop. And then we have the flagship PSVG podcast that drops every Monday. And yeah, you can find us over there, Twitter at PSVG. Pretty easy to find.
Awesome. And yeah, guys, if I did it right, there should be a link to their channel in the description. So check it out. But thank you for joining us, man.
Oh, no, I wanted to jump at the opportunity. Like I said earlier before we started, my only thing was like, could I get here in time? I was like, man, I don't want to be late. So thank you. Thank you for giving me the hour.
Yeah, definitely, man. So Joe, we got to start off with PNPicks. What have you been playing? What's looking good in the eShop for you?
Oh, man. Okay. Just finished up Wolfenstein 2. Oh, man. One of my favorite games this year. I'm just going to say that right now.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. Pocket Rumble. I hated it for the first 5 minutes and then fell in love right after I told you I hated it. June, man. I don't know what it is. That character is just amazing. Those of you who don't know Pocket Rumble, it's a fighting game. It's like almost $10, and it's got like the Neo Geo color stylized pixel art going on there. It's a fighting game with 2 buttons. That's it. Just an A and a B button, and you do all those moves based on it. It's super complex for such a simplistic game, and it plays well. It is very hard to get a grasp of it if you're just going in, but if you do the lessons and take the time to actually like go through the basics, it could be a really fun game.
Yeah, I love the art style of that game.
Oh my god.
Anything else? Anything coming out that you're looking forward to? There's a ton of games coming out now.
I mean, Octopath, and I just picked up Shining Resonance Refrain.
Nice.
So action JRPG nerds, this might be one that you want to pick up. Check out the demo first. See if it's something up your alley. It's not like Ys 8 in terms of that sort of combat style, but it's got a mix of action meets turn-based. It's very weird to put it, but it was good enough for me to be like, okay, I'm gonna pick this up day one.
Nice. Donnie, what about you, man? What have you been playing?
I'd like to ask Joe about Pocket Rumble quickly. So what exactly has it that's got its hooks in you?
For me,
is it like online multiplayer, or are you playing locally with friends, or is it like solo mode? Like what's doing it for you?
For me, I whenever I pick up like a fighting game, I'm always like that dude that'll just play arcade mode nonstop. Like I suck at playing these games online, but I will try my damnedest to at least like, you know, go in and battle some people. I won a couple battles online. I'm like proud of myself.
That's always fun.
Yeah. And dude, like the minute I picked up as June was when the game got interesting for me. Like there's always a character that draws me into fighting games. And she's just this weird ghost science experiment thing going on there. There's no like backstory to these characters. Apparently there's like a Kickstarter goal, but they didn't meet that, and it was supposed to add story to these characters. So like I hope the game does good so we can get something like that. But she's got like this spike she's got like the scorpion spike going on. She can like teleport into people, and her throw is to like go in their body and throw them around within their body and then come back out. Yeah, she teleports, so like you can like actually move around and phase through the person to get around them and then start like comboing again. It's an interesting game. Like all the characters are very unique, and I think that stands out. And the artwork on that, like it is pixel art, and I'm sure, you know, people are tired of me talking about pixel-based games, but it's near and dear to my heart. So it was like, oh, this is perfect. I need to pick this up.
And we have a question, a couple questions in the chat actually about the HD Rumble on Pocket Rumble. I feel it. I feel like it's pretty good.
Yeah.
What do you think about it?
Yeah, I mean, it felt like Rumble to me. Like it was like the least thing I pay attention to in fighting games, because I'm always like so focused into like trying to beat the crap out of characters. Because let me tell you, that arcade mode is no joke. Like when I say go do the lessons before you jump into arcade.
So Donnie, did you pick it up? Because you sounded like you did, and you didn't like it.
No, I didn't. I've got a weird one with this one, because when it was first unveiled in that first Indie Direct, I actually was like really excited about it. And I remember, I'll never forget it, because I felt like I was one of the few. I feel it's just like me and Jason in the PSVG Switch folk. And I kept looking for it. And there's still 10 games from that Direct that we're still looking for. So it's not uncommon to this game, but I'd kind of given up on it. There was at one point I thought like maybe it was just canceled. We just didn't hear about it forever.
Yeah.
And then it comes, like it resurfaces, and they say they're going to drop it now. And now it's just kind of like the worst time for me to drop a game. It's just like, man, who has time to stop to play Pocket Rumble right now?
Yeah, that's true. And like, especially the Switch, you have so many fighting games. I mean, this is $9.99. It does have online. So for me, it's when someone comes over, you know, and we want to brawl or something, like I'll put that on, but it's not, you know, game of the year or anything. It's fun. I love the art style, but it's just, I don't know. I don't know if I would say underwhelming. It is what it is, but it's definitely difficult. That was one thing that they made it seem like it was just pick up and play, like, oh, 2-button controls, but this is deep. And like Joe was saying, the arcade mode, man, that's no joke.
Yeah. Like, and I agree. The timing of this, like, I'm still waiting for Wargroove, you know, and that was the one game out of that. I was like, ugh. The thing most people don't realize was Pocket Rumble was still in early access when that got announced for Switch, and I was surprised that they got away with showing that trailer. Like, they got in there, they snuck in, because I was like, oh, early access. That generally means that game is not leaving early access.
Sure. And so for me, like, that was the thing. I kept waiting for it, and I kind of gave up on it. Now the timing just feels bad. And with you, now that I know Smash is on the near horizon, it's just like, at some point I've got to stop buying games just to buy them. Like I bought Lost Fear. I have not played it. I just bought it one day, and I've got to just stop adding things to the Switch just because.
It hurts me to say, if you can return it, return it. It's
man.
Yeah.
Oh, I bought it digitally.
That hurts my heart. Oh, I'm sorry.
So yeah, it's there one, and I always tell myself one day, and I know it to be true. One day there will be like this rainy day, or I'll be sick or something, right? Or I'll be on vacation, and I'll just fire it up and mess around with it. But I just haven't got to it, and like I got to stop adding games to that. But to answer your question, I did recently beat a new indie game. I got to review it for PSVG. It drops today, actually. It's out now, and that's called The Lion Song. And it's $10, which is really, really good. And it's a narrative-based, like, decision-making adventure game, very much like a Telltale game.
Okay.
It's got this beautiful art style, and beautiful is an interesting word to use for it. I think it's beautiful, but I'd imagine a lot of people at first glance might not, because it's got this sepia-toned, kind of like Owlboy retro-inspired look. I mean, I guess it's pixel art, but it's different. It's not just, pixel art. When you say the words, it's not what you're thinking immediately if you haven't seen it before.
Yeah.
But it's set in the 1920s. So it kind of, the sepia tone that it's going for kind of looks right, because it kind of looks like you're watching like an old movie, or like an old, like you're kind of going back in time. And I really enjoyed it. It's 5 or 6 hours. I gave an 80 for our review scale. We review things on a scale of 100. And it's a mature game. Like, it's definitely an adult game. There's relationships, platonic, sexual, dating, that type of stuff. There's also some other references to some different types of things. So definitely not a game for kids. But yeah, I got to tell you, I really, really enjoyed it. Like I said, it was 5 or 6 hours, good decision trees. One of the things I liked about it when you compare it to a Telltale game is they let you change your decisions, but you don't have to replay the entire chapter to do so. So at the end of every chapter, it'll give you your decisions just like those games do. But like, let's say you and 99% of everybody else made the same decision. You're like, well, I wonder what happened if I didn't do that. You can just click on that and it goes right back to that moment. You just change it and you just keep going, which I thought was handy. Yeah. And it's got all these different outcomes. It's set in Austria in the 1920s, so right on the brink of World War I. And it actually has like real life people, so like Sigmund Freud and stuff is there, and they're in the game. So it kind of has like some of that Assassin's Creed like history type stuff where you'll go back and kind of play off of it. It's just it's really artsy. So like if you're into music, if you're into just art, like painting, design, anything like that, there's a lot of that in here in that game. And of course, you play as these 3 different characters, and then the final chapter you kind of take on the role of like 4 characters, and then in the end you more or less learn how all their stories impact each other, so on and so forth. So it's not revolutionary or anything, but for $10, I really, really enjoyed it. I really did.
Yeah, it's crazy that like even you mentioned that game, I had no idea about it. It's just that's the way the eShop's going, and there's just ton of new games. I am looking forward to Bomb Chicken. I fell in love with it when I first saw it. And also a game to watch out for in August, Dead Cells. Looks crazy, man. There's also you physical dudes, myself included. It is coming out physical, so that's another game. What's another game? Cosmic Star Heroine.
Yes, I'm patiently waiting.
That is another one. But yes, Octopath might take over all of our lives. I might have to actually wait on this. I was talking to Aaron earlier, and there's just a ton of stuff, man. Joe. I'll get to it, Joe. I'll get to it.
And we have Overcooked too, right? Is it the same day as I'm sorry, I already forgot it. Dead Cells? Is it the same day or is it the same week?
Oh, maybe.
Yeah.
Might be,
Is it a Thursday? Because if it's a Thursday, I think they're both dropping the same day.
I wouldn't be surprised.
So that was like my takeaway when they announced it, because I know Dead Cells has had like some of the folks, definitely Jason, had his interest in that Metroidvania action adventure stuff. It looks great.
Yeah.
But like Overcooked, Nintendo kind of propped it up as one of their bigger, marketed titles. It'll be interesting to see how they hold up against each other.
Yeah. So definitely check that out, man.
Only thing holding me back from Dead Cells is the roguelite aspect right now. If someone can convince me that I should buy this game.
Crazy. The next part that we're going to talk about, actually, I put it in the description for you guys. Someone made a mock-up of this new Switch UI. We're always getting these, but this one was floating around Twitter. And so you guys can check it out there before we talk about it. But I wanted to ask you guys what you thought about it. Donnie, I love it. I'll start with you, man. Thumbs down from Donnie.
Oh, man. So this thing, I saw it. Today's Tuesday, right? I must have saw this thing Friday or Saturday. And I have not been able to not see it like since. It just keeps coming through my Twitter feed. It just keeps getting run and play. And at first I was like, you know what? Let bygones be bygones. Let well enough alone. Somebody out there thinks this is cool. I'm going to leave it be. And then after like the 30th time, I was like, all right, now I have to chime in. Somebody like, this is getting ridiculous. I don't know who came up with this. I don't know who thinks this is a good idea, but I can't tell you how further away from anything that I would want it to be this is. I counted, I think yesterday, either yesterday or the day before, on my Twitter feed, I counted and tweeted. There are no less than like 35 to 40 things that you can click on this one screen.
Yep.
You know what that is? That's Windows in like 1996. That is an insane amount of things and icons and buttons to be paying attention to. And you think about that on the Switch in portable mode, it's either super, super tiny or it's just a mess. Yeah. To compare it, I have a Google Pixel. I have 21 icons on the home screen of my Google Pixel, and it's made to have icons. Like, it's designed for that. I was just like, and that's all without saying, it's just the PS4. That's all this is. It's just a cross media bar, and you like.
That's exactly what it is. Yeah.
I was just like, there's no intuitive, like, what is the Nintendo part of this? Like, what's the Nintendo flavor? It's not, you know, like, and people are like, well, it has achievements. Like, that aside, you know, there are things in here like news posts, recent posts, friends posts. I don't want any of that on my home screen. Like, just keep that off and the little button at the top. If I want to go see it, I'll go see it, but don't put it on my home screen. Leave me alone. I just want my games, you know. For me, I wouldn't mind if I could make my tiles smaller. Maybe I could add rows and folders. Like, I'm always thinking like 3DS, you know, like more of that tile management that they do so well. That's fast. It's fast. It's easy. It's easy for children. It's easy for adults. Like, that's an OS design that works across all ages, all spectrums of gamers. Don't be doing this mess. Like, personally, just for me. I want to see recent posts on Mario Odyssey. What do I care? This isn't Miiverse. Like, what's going on? This is insane. There's a music tile. Like, there are alarms. What are we setting alarms for?
I'm so glad you agree with this because at first glance, and the link is in the description, guys, if you want to see it, it looks pretty, like you said, it looks like a PS4 like UI. And at first I was okay with it, but you also got to think, this is a handheld console. Picture that on a handheld, and you're going to be like, you can't even see the icons. So it's like, for me, I don't like it. There are some parts of it that I kind of do like. Obviously, the achievements. I do like the icons at the top. I think that kind of looks cool. And I'm indifferent about the news. Like, I feel like if I want to know what's going on, I'll go to Twitter.
They could scrap the news tab that we have now. Like, I don't even need that. Like, just get rid of it.
Yeah, that's true. Joe, what do you got for me, man?
I'm loving this conversation. I love this conversation. Oh my god, that was
Joe's
great.
Gonna love it.
No, everything that Donnie said was great. I agree. This is way too much on this screen. A C for creativity, because this right here was super creative, and I like that they went in and put a lot of things that, yes, this mimics the PlayStation OS 1000%. Folders is like the one thing that I want on my Switch. That's like the number one thing that I've clamored for that we still haven't gotten over a year out since the UI inception. Achievements and trophies can go to hell. Like, I don't like them. I do like the fact that, you know, there's a couple things in here, like, you know, listening to music and like the TV stuff. Like, if we got YouTube and whatnot, that would be pretty cool. The only reason I say that is although I've never been for it on Switch, when I started using like my charging case for it, I would actually watch Hulu on it and have kickstand out. So I think that would have been cool to like add that at some point. It's bound to happen. Like you said with the alarm thing, like who's using their Switch for a goddamn alarm? Unless that's supposed to be notifications. Maybe that's what that means.
Yeah.
Messaging people though, I think that would be handy. I used to use that on PlayStation a lot. Just messaging people right from the app. I know we have Discord and all these other ways of communicating with people and whatnot, but I don't know. There's just something very old school in me that I wouldn't mind just directly sending a message to a friend via the message board within like an app itself. There's just it's very busy. And that's what I don't like the most about this whole thing. But that's one of the things Nintendo does very well, is they're very to the point and like, here, this is all you really need. Get to your games. Here's the shop. Here's your settings. Like, like Donnie was saying, Miiverse it's done. Like, no thanks. That can stay.
Plus, there's no Nintendo-ness.
No, exactly. Like, they're about simplicity. Like, make things just work, you know. And this is doing too much. I think they still need to work on the eShop before they do anything to fix the main UI. I think really the only thing missing is folders right now.
Yeah, and something for me, like, I want Virtual Console in a different list, and I also want like streaming things or like, you know, Hulu and stuff like that in a different list. I don't like that it's all in one row, especially now. Like, you watch Hulu and then it just bothers me that it's like near games. I don't know. Weird.
No, I'm with you. I've often said I always thought it'd be really great, like with this online thing, right? And it replaces Virtual Console. It'd be cool if that was like a separate app.
Yeah,
you added it like right there in like the, you know, like the menu UI, and you just hit Nintendo Online and just took you somewhere else, and that was where all your stuff was nice and organized and categorized.
Yep. And,
I just read Bobby's comment.
Yeah, we got a scientific conclusion to this. Hot trash in the summer from Bobby. So it is hot trash in the summer. So we're gonna give that a hot trash out of 10.
Oh wow, that's the worst.
Oh my god.
Good try though. I've seen some better ones, but that was just the one floating around. Okay. I guess we'll skip. Okay, we'll go to this one first. Third-party games. Joe, you said you picked up Wolfenstein 2.
Mm-hmm.
Donnie, you own multiple consoles. You own PS4.
Own them all.
Okay. So we're going to be talking about is there such thing as third-party loyalty? For some reason, there's this big thing where it's like, you know, I want to buy every single Nintendo game. I'll wait 5 years for it. So there is just a conversation here, I guess. Third-party loyalty. What do you guys prefer? Are you guys more price? Are you guys portable? We always talk about the portability versus performance. Joe, third parties. I mean, you got Wolfenstein for the Switch, so you like to wait for Nintendo?
Did you wait for Wolfenstein, or are you playing it twice?
No, I waited for the Switch because I said right off the bat, I was like, okay, this is. I said it on stream. I was like, all right, this will be the game that I wait on for Switch, and I know I'm gonna spend the $60 when this game is like $20 and goes on sale, just like any other thing that I end up picking up for this damn console right now. I said that with a lot of salt. Sorry, but I was impressed and really happy with the game. Although I tell everybody whenever I like pick up a game on the Switch, like if I notice that it's on sale elsewhere, I'm gonna call it out and point it out and like, hey, yes, this game is like $15 here, but it's on sale right now on PlayStation or PlayStation 4 or Vita or Xbox One or PC. Pick it up there if you don't want to spend the full price on it here, because right now you're paying a lot for a game that came out 2-3 years ago, and here we are, you know, and seems like it continues to happen. Then, you know, it's like I'm starting to be a lot more careful with the spending. I know Joe and spending Joe and saving don't go together when it comes to you know, YouTube and Twitch. But when there's certain things that I'm just like, okay, I'm gonna start voting with my wallet on these things, and like a lot of the indie titles, a lot of the games that are getting announced for Switch that are already out on, like, say, the Vita, for instance. I'll pick up on the Vita. Like, PlayStation just had a whole mid-year sale go on. I was like, there were a lot of games that was like, oh wow, this is really interesting. I might as well pick it up now and buy it. And there were a couple of games on Steam that I was like, okay, this will be like the games that I get to at some point down the road, but like I don't go crazy on the Steam sale like a lot of people buy like hundreds of games. I'm just like, I'll stay away. But as far as like third party loyalty, yeah, there's games that I definitely want to play on Switch that I will wait for, more along the JRPG route because the handheld capability. And there are games that I don't mind buying on the other consoles if it's, if it's going to save me a couple bucks.
Bobby, you don't have to donate. Thank you for the donate. He's donating $1 for every episode he missed, so he's got like 20 more to go. So okay, I'll go to Donnie next because I have some thoughts.
Okay, it's an interesting question. I think I know where you're kind of going with it. There is sort of like this fanboyism that attaches to like the console that you support. Like I bought the game here, so typically. I agree with Joe most everything he said, actually. Most of the time, it depends on the fit of the game. If there's a game that I either particularly like want to support on Switch, or if there's a game that I think would be better played on Switch, I'm going to try to buy it on Switch. That said, I didn't wait for Wolf 2. I bought Wolf 2 during Black Friday. Got it for like $20. I played it. It was amazing. I played it in 4K. I did, however, wait for South Park. Excuse me, The Fractured But Whole, because it came out in the fall. I already had a ton to play for, so the wait didn't bother me at all. I probably wasn't going to get it done if I'd bought it on Xbox anyway. And I waited for it also because it was an RPG, and I thought I'd play more of it, and I thought it'd be best on Switch. And it was great. I didn't finish it, though. Our team makes so much fun of me. They're like, you waited for this game. You paid a full $60, and you still didn't even finish it. I was just like, after 12 hours of South Park, that was just as much South Park as I could take in like a solid dose at one time. But yeah, there are certain games like that I'll do, like Golf Story, although it's not like a third-party game. Like I'm buying it twice, like when they have the physical release. Because I just enjoyed it so much. God. So like, yeah, it is interesting that there are certain games. I think a lot of it has to do like where did the game get marketed at? Like there's that whole PS4 Destiny tie-in, even though the Destiny was on Xbox. And then over here in Nintendo Land, think about the Overcooked. How about Overcooked 2 that day? Like when I was like pre-ordered, eShop, done, piece of cake. I got extra Joy-Cons. I'm gonna play it with my Nintendo Shack folks. We're gonna do a drunk stream. We're all just gonna stay up and drink and play Overcooked and scream at each other. Like, yeah, that was done, and I think that goes a long way. It's like when you can get a partnership. We were talking about earlier. I've been paying attention to Pocket Rumble and Wargroove and Shakedown Hawaii. Like I have those on Hollow Knight. I waited forever to play. I could have played Hollow Knight at any point along the way on PC.
That's true.
And I waited to play it on Switch because I heard how great the game was. By the way, it came super hard. I can't beat it at all. I quit. I quit when I got to the Soul Knight or the Soul Spectre or this whatever it was. I tried for like 3 hours to beat. It almost made me break my Switch in half. I was like, all right, that's it. I'm done with this.
Oh my God.
But yeah, it is an interesting topic. It's an interesting thing. Like there is something there that we want to support certain games, certain kinds of games, certain developers on certain systems. So it's interesting. Yeah. I do think if, like NBA, when NBA came to Switch, I bought it on Switch because I wanted, there's a part of me that's like, I want to show them that there's gamers out there like me that would love a sports game on Switch. Like if Madden came to Switch, even if it was Madden 14 and it came to Switch, I'd buy Madden on Switch. Like just keep bringing it. That's the WWE news that we got this week is kind of sad.
Yeah.
It's like, I know your port last year sucked. How about you make it better? Like, don't quit. Go to panic button. Get a better port studio.
So I'm gonna make Bad Bit really happy, and I'm gonna make Nintendo Guru like pissed. So here's 4 games right here. We got all for PS4. We have Crash Bandicoot, Doom, Okami, and Wolfenstein 2. All 4 of these games are only $10 more expensive than Wolfenstein on Switch. I have seen the light, I think, with third-party games. So I think Fortnite, games that I'm going to play with community, I will get on the Switch because, obviously I have more friends on there. But when it comes, I mostly play on the TV anyway. So I think it's, are you going to play this game in handheld? And something like Hollow Knight, Shovel Knight, obviously I'm going to play those like handheld. Even Doom, I do have that for Switch as well, and that plays good on handheld. So I don't know. For me, I'm very I've taken cost into consideration a lot more than I used to, but it's not all that. Like there are things about those other ports in the Switch that are just a little bit grainy, or I don't know. I'm starting to become a snob, not a PC snob, but I don't know.
Be mad for your poor decisions, Pat.
Oh man, but yeah, I can't play Crash. I have to play it on a PlayStation. It just feels right. My little 10-year-old self, it just feels right. But all those ports were, I mean, we don't know about Okami yet, but all 4 of them are really good on the Switch as well, which speaks volume to Panic Button did Wolfenstein, but just
they did Rocket League and Doom, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
It's just crazy.
They're doing Warframe.
Warframe, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Warframe's pretty fun, by the way.
Isn't Crash like 380p or something on Switch portable mode? Like, isn't it like just like really, it's like toned down?
It's 480p. You could kind of notice it. Like,
that would bother me.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with wanting more, man, especially when you know more is out there. Like, there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, exactly.
Okami, though, I bought that on Xbox and I plan on rebuying it. I've never beat that game. I've often started it. I've started it a billion times. I've never finished it.
I've never played an Okami game, man.
I bought it on Xbox during Black Friday on a sale. I think I got it for like $12. So I'm not even that like invested into it. It's only $19.99 out of the gate anyway, right?
Yeah.
So my thing with that was I played an hour of it on Xbox and I was like, nope. Doing the touchscreen stuff without the touchscreen, totally like different game. I played it on Wii. I was like, this is not good. So the moment it was like, it's coming to Switch, I was like, yes, now I can play with touchscreen. So something like that would be a reason to hop on a third party. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, I mean, you can get indies on any of the platforms. Like if someone tells you can't, you pretty much can, except like the exclusive. I think Golf Story is exclusive. But every single indie I will get on the Switch just because I know that for me, I like playing indies portably anyway. So that's like my preferred way. I don't know if anyone wants to comment in the chat. We have Sonic Mania. Yes, that for me that felt right on the Switch, and I'm actually I haven't played it yet. I'm waiting for the physical on that.
Soccer Slammers. You should get that on Switch. You can't tell me, like, I know you can play co-op on other systems, but you can't tell me that playing co-op on a TV in your living room is better than if you're like at the DMV or the doctor's or at a restaurant and you split off 2 Joy-Cons and you start playing Soccer Slammers. I played Soccer Slammers like that, and definitely it gets people's attention. They're like, what in the world is going on over there? They see the goals, they see the flags. You're sitting there playing. It's a kind of a head turner. Yeah,
and you mentioned Overcooked. I didn't even know for a while that it was on other systems, and I'm like, that it just doesn't feel right, man. Like, take the Joy-Cons off, start yelling.
That's how I feel about Resident Evil games. Like either GameCube or PlayStation control is like how I played that game.
Makes sense. Maybe we should vote. We should have like a gamer vote where we just vote where these games go to, which system they'll be available.
It's crazy though. Like a lot of these indie games that are like later ported to the Switch, they're becoming superstars. Like Hollow Knight.
Oh yeah,
man.
Hollow Knight's amazing. By the way, I know my not being good at a game should never stop anybody from playing it. It's beautiful and the sound is great and the gameplay is superb. Like that is a Game of the Year candidate. It's just really hard. So like if you're like me, you're not really into it, like you might want to watch out. But you're not lying, you know, like Crash is selling best. And we talked about how it's like the fuzziest version. The worst version of the game at the highest price, delayed on all of the versions, still outselling everything else. That's pretty impressive. It's amazing that like Spyro didn't come over. Like that's I don't know. Yeah. I would say you're shooting yourself in the foot, but apparently not. Apparently the game come a year later and still outsell everything. So is it like maybe it's smart on their part?
Spyro will come. It'll come. Give it a year.
Now, if we could only get day and date releases, then we could really see.
We could really test. We'd have real numbers.
Yeah.
Right.
Joe's done with that theory. So the main event, and I would love to hear people in the chat like give me some opinions on this. There's been a lot of stock talk, and normally I'm not one to comment on it. I still don't get the stock market the way it works. But I feel like it'd be fun to ask you guys. Now, I think we have to take some fanboy caps off and some gamer caps off. Would you invest in Nintendo? Now, I don't even know what the stock price is right now.
Let's find out. I'll get my trade app going.
It's like 35,000 yen.
Okay. So taking into consideration what Nintendo has planned, what they're doing now, real talk, would you guys honestly invest in Nintendo? I will start with Donnie.
My numbers from 2 days ago, and I think it was on the rebound, so it might be higher than that. I would. When you put the topic up, I actually did. I saw all this stuff. Like I've seen the tweets and the people that keep. There's a lot of headline grabbing. You know, Nintendo stocks are down. Nintendo stocks are down from E3. They're losing money hand over fist. There's some important things to remember when and looking. And I'm with you. Like, one, as gamers, period, we should really stop thinking about like the financial situation of these content providers. Like, do they make money? Good, go make games. Like that's the point we should stop. But if you're going to get into this, like there's some certain things you should really pay attention to. One, the stock today, even after all the fluctuation, is higher than it was a year ago. The stock today is 3 times as high as it was when the Wii launched. Guess who's doing good? Nintendo's good. Nintendo's fine. They're sitting on a pile of money, right? The other thing that I think is important to notice, and I often think that this is like the funniest, weirdest part of ever trying to analyze stock trends. People that invest in stocks, like people with this much money to throw around, they don't appear to be the most informed people. Like oftentimes I wonder if I could just find a really rich group and be like, I'll be your video game advisor. Like you tell me what you want to invest in, and I'll tell you whether or not it's a good idea. Because the Switch launches this commercial about how they're having this handheld portable thing. Nintendo stock soars the next 2 days. And then what do we get like 3 weeks later? Nintendo Switch stock is crashing. No, it's not. It's coming back to the norm. And the same thing happens. Nintendo is a Pokemon Go. Nintendo stock soared. They don't even make that game. People find that out. Now it's crashing again. It's not crashing. It's correcting. It's it's coming back to equilibrium. And then the Pokemon Let's Go thing, the same thing happened. And then the same thing's happening E3. E3 happens, whether the market or not thinks it was an amazing announcement or not, stocks will fluctuate and go back up or down, and then they'll come back to the norm. So, I mean, like I said, a year ago, we're higher than a year ago. 5 years ago, we're higher than they were 15 years ago. To me, that sounds pretty healthy. Seems like a pretty healthy, stable thing to invest into. So I would, especially knowing that probably for the first time in a long time, Nintendo's really looking into pimping out that IP. All these entertainment deals, these parks, you think they're looking into movies, things like that. Like, there's a whole other market there that they can capitalize on way, way, way beyond. Video games is small beans compared to lunchboxes and cups and toys and movies and cartoons and Netflix deals and all the things that they could do. Like, if they really want to start pushing stock margins, they can.
Okay. Joe, how are you going to follow that answer up?
I'll follow it up simply like this. Donnie said everything quite perfectly.
I'm sorry.
No, don't. That was like the perfect example of like, what you should look into when you're investing in stocks. Full disclosure, I own Apple stock from when I used to work at Apple. And it's like one of the biggest things that you need to keep in mind if you're trying to do something like that is prior trends. And this is what I learned in economics class. And I still carry this to this day from high school. Past trends do not reflect what will happen in the future. You don't know. Anything can happen. It can go up. It can go completely down and crash it. Joe sold out Big Apple. Sorry. But you don't want to. It's sort of like with the whole Bitcoin thing. Like the thing is going to go. Things are going to go up. Things are going to go down. You only put in what you're willing to lose when it comes to stocks, and so you want to make sure, like, if you're willing to lose that much, make sure it's only that. Don't go putting in your entire life savings into a single stock. That's the other thing too. It's like, don't just put all your eggs into Nintendo's basket and expect to come out a millionaire. That's kind of not how it works. But it also can be a good time if stocks are dropping down and you're getting that course correction. Might be a better time to buy. Like, I'm not an advisor, but like it might be a good time to buy when it's cheaper. So when it goes up, you're sort of making that return on investment to an extent. So
yeah,
that's sort of what I have to add on to that.
I mean, from a gamer perspective and just a consumer of this product, like Nintendo could do no wrong, really. I mean, they're putting out these classic consoles. They're putting out like more iterations of the 2DS, and those are selling. Like they're putting out some great products right now. The main thing for me, and this is where Nintendo makes their money, we have another handheld coming. Not even talking about the Switch. They've confirmed that a new handheld is coming to coincide with the Switch. To me, that is giant, man, because they've always been, at least I feel, handheld first in recent years. 3DS literally saved this company. So to see that they're coming out with another handheld, you mentioned the stop it. We don't want to play that anymore.
It lives.
Damn it. We got movies. We got all this other types of media. It's a healthy business right now, and wasn't the case a few years ago. So a couple people, let's see, dude in the chat said Pokemon and Smash. Like, to me, that's very, very minimal compared to like what they're actually doing right now. But yeah, that's a good point too. Pokemon, it seems like Pokemon Go is coming back. I got Bobby sending me gifts daily now, so that's cool. So for me, yeah, I'm investing even with the fanboy cap off, because they're just, to me, they're the most exciting people in gaming right now, to be completely honest. I mean, Sony's putting out good games. Xbox, they're consumer friendly. But yes,
gaming industry's in a good place. I mean, we're reaching end of life cycles. We're getting new consoles. It appears like competition is going to keep on going. I think this was a cheap grab at getting some views on a headline.
Yep.
To be honest,
I don't know if most exciting would be the term that I use. I definitely think they're most exciting to us because we're Nintendo fans.
Mm-hmm.
But if I was like if I was just a dude with a lot of money, Nintendo has IP and a character stable that will always sell. And maybe it doesn't always sell video games, but you can't tell me that Mario won't sell products with a 50-year legacy of selling stuff. Like, it's like Mickey Mouse. Like, they have that. That's what the other companies don't have. So honestly, at that very root of it, with good management, that stock should be worth something. It's just if Don Matrick took over Nintendo, that's the only thing that can possibly bring them down. Like, they would just have to be something catastrophic like
that. Real quick, have a handheld console for you guys. It's called a Nintendo 3DS.
If anyone in the chat wants to ask some questions before we wrap up, Crashy, what's up? Let me shout out, dude. What's up, Robert? I was gonna say what's up, Donnie, but you're you're right here. Bad Games.
What's up?
LAT Vlogs. What's up, dude? JD, Nintendo Guru.
It was a secret billionaire. Jesus Christ, Pat.
Joe has thousands of Apple stocks. He's just waiting.
I wish.
Joe, you had a
good question.
What's up?
JD had a good question. I think we kind of answered it, but are there games you don't want to play on the Switch, like purposely avoiding it on Switch for another console?
That is a good question.
So games that we don't want to play on the Switch?
Yeah, like you mentioned Crash and how like you feel like that's comfortable on PlayStation. Yeah. I mean, for me, Resident Evil.
Yeah, I think the problem with that is we don't have a lot of examples to like test that theory. We only have a handful of games that are on all. I definitely like Wolfenstein 2. Like I'm glad that they got the port over there, but having watched the Digital Foundry report, seeing that game runs down in like the 300s at times and fluctuates and like never gets higher. Like I played the game in 4K and it was amazing. Like I couldn't imagine playing the thing at 680p. That would bother me.
I'll tell you, I didn't notice a damn thing. But I'm sure if I played it on PlayStation 4 or Xbox One, I probably would notice a difference. I noticed it with Doom because I bought Doom on Xbox One.
See, it's like when you know.
Yeah.
So there's like certain stuff like that. Yeah, like I wouldn't want to play Resident Evil on Switch because I want to be as completely immersed. I want the biggest TV, the loudest headphones, the most Ks I can possibly get. As a long-time Resident Evil fan, like, the gore, the sound, like that's a part of it. That's a part of the deal. You want to be immersed. Then you want to be truly scared.
I'm a glutton for punishment, man. I buy him on anything that it comes out on.
I have a couple scary like horror games. I'm not a big fan of playing on the Switch just because I know that I'm not playing like those kind of games in handheld although it can be creepy, like for me, like kind of like what Donnie said, like immersion with horror games. Also shooters, because it seems like we can't get like that 60 frames. And when you're like sniping or heavy into gunfight, like you need the 60 frame. It does make a big difference. I mean, play Fortnite. That's a big difference. Bad bit. Oh man, plugging away over there. Thank you. But yeah, anything that I played on other consoles, it's kind of hard for me to go to Switch. Like Crash, even if Spyro came over, I probably would only get it on PS4. It's just like little nostalgia things like that.
Like I'm getting Spyro. I've already pre-ordered it. I'm not gonna wait. Like that's another thing. It's if Spyro was coming day and date to Switch, and let's say it ran reasonably well, it was in HD, not 500p or whatever. It was 720. If it was 720, I would buy Crash on Switch, Spyro on Switch. But I'm not gonna wait a year. I'm just gonna go play the game. That's not my fault. I'm not gonna feel bad or less than a Nintendo fan. It's not my fault they didn't get the game over there.
Guru asks, "Am I changing my channel name to Sony Pony Talk?" Oh man,
Sony Pony Talk.
We have the rights to Sony Talk, Microsoft Talk. We're working on Sega Talk right now, so we're just gonna kind of hone in on it.
Monopolize the talk market. I like it.
Oh my god.
Yeah, Aaron. All you have to do to be on the PlayStation podcast, the Trophy Room, is just buy a PlayStation. Man, I'm just kidding. I love you. But yes, thank you guys very much for coming. That was episode 42. And before we go, Donnie, where can they find you? I know you said it before, but we have some newbies in here.
Sure. You can follow our entire team at PSVG. You can check out our blog at psvg.blog. You can follow me, though, personally, over on Twitter at PlayNintendo, dubbed by one Capri. Ain't no G's in Playing Nintendo.
Definitely. I must admit, I'm a newer fan of PSVG, but you guys do some awesome work. And there's a ton of you doing it. So always content going up there. If you guys also live podcasts they do over there as well. So. And Joe, where can they find you, man?
Yo, Twitch and YouTube, Joe After Work. That's it. That's all I got.
I was waiting for more. I was like, okay.
Nah, man. Keep it short.
And you guys are already here on NintenTalk. So thank you guys very much again. And we will see you in the next episode 43. So thank you guys.
43.
Peace out, Preston. I guess we'll hang around if anyone else has questions. Yeah, I got to go on the trophy room soon. That'll be fun.
Oh, we got to call something out. Guru mentioned something, and Rybo and I had this conversation too.
What's up?
Guru says, I invited Rybo 6 months ago to come to Nintendo Talk, and he told me nope. So I think at some point we need to get Rybo's floating head bobbing around as he talks to us. That's on PNP.
Yeah, Rybo, there's your invitation, man. You have a lot to say, but we never see. We need a face reveal of Rybo. Right.
No, we should just have him do face rig and just it be his me, and the me talks the entire time.
Guru has a serious question. We might end it on this. I'm kind of scared.
Uh-oh. I'm scared about this. A serious question.
Definitely. We will be doing streams soon. Splatoon's coming back. What is your favorite item in Mario Kart 8?
That's a serious question.
I thought it was going to be more serious than that. I was ready.
My favorite item in Mario Kart 8.
I feel like I need to look them up so I don't miss one.
I'm torn between two. I like the golden mushroom.
It's a good one.
Classic. And I like the triple green shell. Not the red one, the green one.
I really like, I was going to say the green shell just in general. Like when you land a green shell hit on somebody, that takes skill, that takes precision to be like, just like, ooh, I landed a hit with that green shell and I'm going to pass right by you. And you kind of get that like nice little bit of redemption. Like, yes, got them. Like,
I've never actually thought about like trying to rank them. I don't necessarily know if I think any one of them is better than the other one. I like the red. I mean, I like all the shells. I like the 3 red shells. I feel like a boss when I have the 3 red shells. You know, I just like cruise around. I'm like, oh, you guys are fucked.
You're done. You're done.
Can we bring back the fake item box? That was like my favorite one, man.
That was
That
good.
one was good.
Oh my god,
That was good. Do you always try to leave it right with the other one?
Yep.
Yeah, you always try to, as you hit one, you try to pick up the other one.
Yeah, try to like replace it as. Oh my god, I hated that in 64.
One of my favorite memories that I used to always tell folks, like my Mario Kart memory, by the way, is back when I was in high school, I was on a golf team, and me and my golf team guys, we'd play Mario Kart 64, and we'd always do the block for it. Except we'd all get to the top of the towers where the item blocks were, and we would do nothing but green shells for like 30 minutes, and then we would play. Like then we would start the match after we had launched like 100 green shells down below. So if you had fallen off any block fort at any point, it was like mass hysteria to try to get back up because there were green shells just bouncing off of everything down there.
Oh my!
That was a lot of fun. Talk about making your own game. That was a blast.
See? Last minute, quick little topic here, Joe.
Yo,
how do they mix it up for the next Mario Kart? Like, what do they? I feel like Mario Kart 8 is beyond perfect, man.
Yeah. Oh man, I'm probably the worst person to ask.
They do that. Like, they have a mode where you have nothing but golf. Like this is great.
you call it Mario Kart Ultimate, and you add
Mario Kart Battle Royale. Just tons of.
You just drop down in a cart.
That would work, man. Float down with the balloons,
and just mass shells everywhere.
Oh my god! And the map is just all the racing tracks molded together.
I mean, seriously, you're about right. To do anything different Mario Kart is basically infringing on Smash Ultimate territory. Like, what else can they do?
Yeah.
They could do a proper battle mode, and that's about it.
Yeah, that's true.
That's the only thing really missing.
Mario Kart Ultimate, bringing things from all the other ones. I don't know. There's a lot of talk about Nintendo Kart, just because, like, you know, Link's in there, Inkling's in there.
Yeah.
Animal Crossing Isabelle.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be opposed to, let's say, I think next year might be too early, but we'll just say next year. I might be opposed to next year them just coming out with like a Mario Kart 8 gigantic expansion pack.
That'd be great.
You give us $30 and here's 16 new courses and 10 new battle maps and 5 new characters. Just do that. Just keep adding to Smash. Or I mean, keep adding to Kart. Like I don't need another Kart.
The surprising thing is that game sold more than Breath of the Wild.
I know.
It's like
crazy.
The port sold more. It's disgusting. But yeah, I'm excited about that. And I now realize why Bobby brought that up. Little Easter egg into Bobby's return here. We got a first exclusive. I'm not going to blow it. He's probably sweating right now. Red shell, me and Bobby. That's all I'll say. Red shell.
I see what he did there.
All right. So thank you guys again. What's up? What's up, Joe?
I don't appreciate that answer, Rybo.
What do you say?
The correct answer is anything you could shoot at Joe. That's a live stream throwback.
If any of us would have said like the star or like all the items, we're probably not too good at Mario Kart. So
crazy.
Good answers. Good answers, guys. Thank you guys very much again, and we will see you in the next episode. Peace out.